Hey, super learners. We're going to continue learning about bats. We have a very cool informational text, a very scientific fact text about bats. This is Eyes on Nature, and it's featuring bats. I used to get these books when I was little, so it's pretty cool. Now, there are some pictures in here that can be a little scary at first, but know that we are learning about bats, and bats to some people are super cute and adorable, and to some people they're super creepy. I'm leaning towards super creepy, but that's just me. So I'm going to be sharing some pictures. I may not read everything on the page, but there are some pictures that I do want to make sure that you look at. So don't freak out. Bats! Ah! Going batty. Tonight, step outside into the darkness. Do you hear the flap flap of unseen wings? Are small shapes flitting among the trees? You have caught a glimpse of the most fantastic night flyers of the natural world, bats. Is it a bird? Ancient people, really, really old times, thought bats were featherless birds. We now know that bats, like humans, are mammals. Say mammals. They are warm-blooded, and they nurse their babies. That means that they drink mama's milk. But unlike humans, bats can fly. Mammals have fur, and bats are no exception. Those that roost or hang out outside have longer hair than those that roost in caves. Like bats are rhyming words. Like cats, bats clean their fur using their tongue and their claws. Although many bats are brown or gray, others are yellow, orange, white, or red. Some are so brightly colored, they're known as butterfly bats. That's pretty cool. All right, and like I said, I'm not going to read everything on the page. All sized up. The smallest bat is the smallest of all mammals. Thailand's bumblebee bat, which weighs less than a penny. So the penny is like the brown coin that we use for money. It weighs less than that. That's itty bitty teeny tiny. The largest bats are the flying foxes of Asia, some of which have a wingspan. So that means from wingtip to wingtip, when it stretches its arms all the way out, are 6 feet long. That's taller than me. That's a long wingspan for bats. About the length of a surfboard. Their body, so this part, is about 1.5 feet long. So probably a little bit taller than my water bottle, so maybe like up to here. But then their wings are ginormous. It's pretty cool. Blind as a bat. Many people think that bats are blind. In fact, some bats see well in dim light. That means when the lights are kind of darkened down. Other bats see less well, but all bats have other strong senses that help them find food in the dark and help them navigate when flying. What body part helps them see really well? Not their eyes. And what do they use to help them fly and find food? What's that big word? Echolocation. Very good. All right. Dental plans. A bat's teeth and the shape of its mouth are adapted to the type of food it eats. Fruit bats have large, flat teeth for grinding pulpy fruit. So like oranges have lots of pulp, like the little stringy stuff on the inside. Insect eaters have jagged, pointy teeth in their cheeks that can slice and grind an insect's hard outsides. Yuck. I do want to point out down here, look how cute this one is. What's it eating? Do you know? What is that? Oh, it's a type of cactus. Let's find out. The long-nosed bat licks the fruit of an organ pipe cactus. A big diet. You may think of bats as bloodsuckers, but in the real bat world, a bat diet may include fruit, leaves, pollen, cacti, which is lots of cactus, insects, frogs, fish, spiders, lizards, and other bats. Bats are actually categorized into two groups. So the large fruit-eating megabats, so there's two groups, just like we learned how to sort by color, sort by size, sort by shape. There are two ways to sort bats. There are the large bats, the megabats that eat fruit, and then we have smaller microbats. Most of them eat insects. So there's a lot of information just on these 2 pages. That's why I'm not reading every single page. Or I'll touch at least one part on every page, but it's a lot of information. Just going to show you this page. So bats, as we learned, there are different types of bats. These are just some of the different ways that bats can look. I will read the first part just because I feel like that's the most important part. Lots of looks. You can find bats throughout most of the world in forests, deserts, jungles, and in your own backyard. There are close to 1,000 different species or types of bats. With so many different varieties, it only seems logical that some bats would look a little more unusual than others, a little bit different. So like, let's just take a look at this one. It's got like a crazy mohawk hairdo. And then, and then this one up here has like a horned nose. But then this one down here, look how big his snout or like his nose area is. But then look at this one, his nose area is totally different than that one. All different kinds of bats. Ooh, this page is important. It's gonna help us with labeling. Winging it. Flying is one of the most fantastic things that bats can do. Bats use their wings like a swimmer doing the butterfly stroke. So the butterfly stroke is when you're swimming and go this way and back and forth. So that's how they are flying. It's super cool. Made of 2 layers of skin stretched over light, small bones, the wings carry a bat's small, light body easily and quickly through the air. All right, I'm going to show you up close what the bat looks like. The bat wing. All right, let's see. This is their forearm. Like this is our forearm right here. It has a thumb. It has a second finger, a third finger, and a fourth finger, and a fifth finger. The wing membrane is like that stretchy skin part, and you can kind of see the little lines. And then, of course, it has legs too. Oh man, they like to hang out, literally. On their wings, bats have a thumb and 4 long jointed fingers that are enormous compared to the size of their body. If you were a bat, your fingers would be longer than your legs. That's crazy. Bats also have hooked claws on their wings and toes, which help them hang by their feet and climb along a wall or tree trunk. To leave their roosts, they simply fall towards the ground, flapping their wings until they take flight. Because remember, they can't start from the bottom and just start flying. They have to fall down from where and start flying. Ooh, this part's important. The little ones. Megabats may be bigger in size, but microbats rule when it comes to numbers. There are 750 different species of microbats. They're found on every continent except Antarctica, and in every landscape except the hottest deserts and the coldest polar regions. Ooh, this is so important. Bat machine. Bat scientists use a device called a bat detector to change high-pitched bat calls to sounds people can hear. This machine can help locate and sometimes even identify bats in caves or other dark habitats. Habitats are where animals live. Oh, this is the most important part about this page. Ear sight. Now, we know that bats don't see very well and that they use their ears. So let's listen. Microbats have a particular talent for seeing with their ears called echolocation. They fly with their mouth open, sending out high-pitched noises called ultrasounds, say ultrasounds, which bounce off objects. So I'm going to show you right here. We've seen this picture. It lets them know how far away or how close something is. Okay. The echo returns to the bat. If the echo returns quickly, the bat knows that an insect, rock, or tree is close. So if the sound bounces off fast, it's really close. But if it takes some time for the echo to come back, it's much farther away. All right. So there's this page. Again, not reading everything, just trying to make sure we get all the pictures in. Maybe in your spare time, if you can find this, maybe at the library or on the internet, there are a lot of really cool facts. All right, so we talked about big bats and we talked about the little bats. So this page, I'm just going to show you what they look like. So these are the megabats, mega meaning big. Ooh, this one's taking flight. It's pretty cool. What are they doing here? Hanging upside down. All right. Now, I am going to read a little bit about this page because we have talked about this particular type. You know who I'm talking about? Vincent vampire bat. A drink of blood. No bat has been so feared and misunderstood as the vampire bat, the only bat that feeds on blood. Like I said, so it's okay. Don't freak out. Just forget those Count Dracula movies. Vampire bats rarely bite people or kill their prey. Do you remember what prey is? Right, the animals that they hunt. And an animal bitten by a vampire bat will not bleed to death, though it could get sick and get a disease. So there are different vampire bats that live in different parts of the world, and they do eat animal blood. So this one is just really funny. I just want to show you a picture. All bats are great flyers, but the vampire bat is a great walker. The vampire can jump on all four legs like a frog, leap straight up into the air, or walk around on two legs like a monkey. This one is doing a handstand. Look at that. How cool is that? Wow. Love it. Aw. Look at this little guy. Look at this little guy. He's sleeping. Little vampire bat is called a pup. Can you say pup? So cute. You're cute little bat. Not you. You're not cute. What did you pee? All right. This is kind of important. Night hunters. Meat-eating bats have good reasons for their nocturnal schedules. What does nocturnal mean? Nighttime. They're awake during the nighttime and asleep during the day. When they fly out at night to hunt for insects, fish, or small animals, most of their competition is sleeping. So that means other animals that like to eat those things are asleep. But bats are wide awake, so they get to eat all that yummy food. All right. Let's see if we have some other, some facts on here are just a little bit gross too. I'm going to read down here. Insect feast. Insect-eating bats feast on insects such as flies, mosquitoes, termites, beetles, and moths, which can carry diseases or sicknesses or destroy trees and farmers' crops. So the plants that farmers make, that they plant, it can make those sick. So farmers actually really love bats because they help get rid of the pesky bugs that hurt their plants. Lots of cool stuff on there. Oh, this one's cute. Fruit bats. Although some bats eat a combination of fruit and insects, others eat fruit or nectar, that's the juice from flowers or plants, almost exclusively. Like that's the only thing that they'll eat. Flying foxes chew and suck on fruit, swallowing the juice and spitting out the pulp. That's that grainy stuff. Sometimes they eat leaves. That's cool too. And there's, look at this tiny little, oh, here's one. Drinking the nectar. These are so cool. All right, now I'm starting to like bats. I don't think they're as creepy. Sometimes you got to learn and get some more information about it before you can make a choice on it. To the bat cave. Bat cave. The place where a bat sleeps is called a roost. Say roost. Right. Some roosts are beds for only one or two bats. Other roosts are huge cities of thousands or even millions of bats. One popular roosting place is in caves. Where to go? Like most animals, Bats have to adapt to colder temperatures and limited food during the winter. So that means they have to kind of change their schedule, change what they're eating, maybe even change where they're sleeping. Some migrate or move south to warmer climates where food is more plentiful. Others hibernate until spring. Can you say hibernate? Good. In my opinion, the most famous animal that hibernates, where it sleeps all winter long and wakes up in the spring, is the bear. And the bear is another larger mammal. So yeah, what a crowd. They got lots of cool bat facts. Ooh. Okay, maybe I changed my mind again. Exceptional roosts. Caves are not the only roosting spots for bats. Bats hang out in trees, mines, which was where place where coal comes from, tunnels, old buildings, bridges, bushes, abandoned termite nests, and tropical spider webs. Whoa. Anywhere they can sleep in safety and seclusion. That means like quiet and out of the way. An attic is a great place for bats to hang out. That sounds like a Ralphie joke or a Carlos joke. Alrighty. And then obviously sometimes they are in trees or in caves or under bridges. There are some places like in the city where there aren't many caves around, but there are lots of bridges. So that's where they like to hang out. See all that fuzzy stuff? Those are all bats flying around.
Steven?
Back to our story. Sometimes we get talking to. We get called on. All right. I'm not going to go into too much of this page because, again, it's a lot of information, but I do want to tell you about the little bitty baby bats. So beginning life. In the spring, when there is plenty of food around, female bats wake up from hibernation, or girl bats, or return from their southern migrations and begin having pups, so the baby bats. These bat babies may look small when they are born, but they grow up fast. Some are flying and hunting on their own when they are only 1 month old. That's pretty cool. So like I said, I'm not going to go into too much, but I do want to show you the itty bitty baby bats. Okay. Bat alert. Over half of the bats in the United States and Canada are threatened or endangered. Can you say endangered? Good. That means that they're actually not making, like they're not coming up with new bats. Like all the bats that they have, they're starting to die and they're not having new babies. So that means that we're slowly starting to run out of bats, and that's so sad. Scientists keep a close eye on endangered bats. They tag them, trace migrations, and monitor populations. Basically, big fancy words for they're watching out for them, they're looking where they're going, and they're keeping up with how many are still around. Ooh, this is important. Natural foes. A number of animals prey on bats. So this is where predators, the animals that hunt, feed on bats. So in this case, bats would be the prey. Snakes can slither and climb up to roosting places. Opossums, raccoons, also nocturnal animals, and skunks prey on bats that fall to the ground. Owls and hawks catch bats as they emerge at dusk when the sun goes down to hunt. So it's the circle of life. Everybody's got to eat. So even bats get eaten. And that was the end of our bat story. I hope you heard some really cool facts. I know I learned a lot about bats reading this story, reading this informational text. So I hope you paid attention and you learned something too. I'll see you soon. Toodaloo.